Good Monday morning, everybody. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Want to make sure the audio is working a-okay before we get started. We're going to talk about the weather for today and the rest of the week as temperatures really climb into the upper 90s and triple digits almost every single day for the next 10 days here in the San Antonio metro and across the region for the most part as well. All right, audio sounds good. All right, guys, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment down below. Make sure this is looking good. There we go. All right, so perfect. A live look outside, guys, on this Monday. It is cloudy in our northern areas like Morgan's Wonderland Camp towards Evans Road and the JW Marriott, Sky Camp towards downtown in the area. Mostly cloudy, but towards Calaveras Lake, towards the south, that's where the cloud cover is starting to burn off and kind of disperse, and that's where we're seeing more clear skies and expect more of that to happen in the next couple hours. All right, here's the forecast trend, just hot. Today, probably about 98 to 99, a lot like yesterday, but starting tomorrow through the end of the week, through the weekend, temperatures likely going to max out around the triple digit mark, 100 to 101 to 102 to 103. It looks like the bulk of the heat will happen between about Thursday and Saturday. It's not until probably the middle of next week it starts to trend down. Average this time of year is 92. We're at about 100 degrees every single day going forward. That's 8 to 10 degrees above average, which is considered a heat wave. Taking a look at the entire forecast going forward. So we're in a heat wave. Summer has not even started yet. Summer officially starts next Wednesday on June 21st, and we're still hitting this kind of heat. We're hitting these kind of temperatures at this time of year. It's abnormal, but it is June, so it is not surprising to say the least. All right, so talking about the difference between a heat advisory and a heat warning. Basically, it just boils down to temperature and the heat index value. Remember, the heat index is the factored in humidity. So it's air temperature plus humidity, and that equals the heat index. So when the air temperature reaches either 103 or the heat index 108, it's kind of an either or situation. That's when a heat advisory will be issued. That's when we're forecasting those kind of numbers. Now, for forecasting air temperatures near 105, and or heat index values of 113 or greater, that's when a heat warning will be issued for our area. Now, at the moment, San Antonio is not included in a heat advisory, but areas to the south, towards Corpus Christi, towards George Weston Beeville, towards the south, that's where they're underneath the heat advisory, where they're expecting heat index values over 108 to 110 later on today and likely for the rest of the week. Now, detecting heat-related illnesses, of course, if you're spending any more than an hour outside, any more than 30 minutes really, if you're working outside, if you're going outdoors for any activities, playing sports, anything like that, you're going to want to stay hydrated. You're going to want to take breaks, find shade when you can, because when you experience heat exhaustion, that's sweating, that's feeling faint or dizzy, and your skin's more clammy, it's more moist. However, when you experience heat stroke, it's kind of the opposite. You don't really sweat, your skin's very dry. It's very pale when you experience symptoms of heat stroke, and your pulse becomes strong as opposed to weak when you're experiencing heat exhaustion. So at those points in time, drink water, find shade, and if you have to, call 911, take action, especially if you're experiencing symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Now, here's the heat index forecast over the next 5 days. Air temperatures around 100 to 103, but when you factor in the humidity, likely between 106 and 110. Now, this is for San Antonio specifically. If you're watching from Pleasanton, if you're watching from Divine, if you're watching from Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, it's a little different. Especially if you're farther west of San Antonio towards Laredo, that's where you're experiencing more of a drier heat, more of a desert-like heat. But the closer you are to the coast, like George West, Beeville, Pleasanton, Carson City, that's where the humidity takes more of a factor into the forecast, and that's where they're experiencing and expecting heat index values larger than this. Now, this is San Antonio specifically, so today, probably around 105 to 108 for the heat index. Tomorrow, 108, same thing for Wednesday, 106 to 107 Thursday and Friday, and 108 on Saturday. That'll put you in the realm of heat stroke, if you're outside for more than an hour. Again, it doesn't take too much time to, one, get sunburnt, and two, experience symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So again, these are elevated numbers. You can see it's kind of in that danger category. When you get up to extreme, that's heat index values up to 115, 120, which we don't typically see in San Antonio. But again, the farther south you are towards the coast, the more moisture moving in from the Gulf, the higher the heat index value. So here are some of the watches and warnings that are in effect. San Antonio is not included in this. It's still going to be hot though. You'll see Medina County, Uvalde towards Maverick County, Eagle Pass, Cotulla and Tilden, McMullen County. They're all included towards Corpus Christi in a heat advisory, meaning air temperatures and or heat index values will be above 105 to 110 at times in these orange shaded areas. Now San Antonio not included in that because air temperatures will likely be around 99 to 100 today, and heat index values below 107. So that's not going to prompt a heat advisory, not just yet. But again, as heat starts to crank in this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, as temperatures start to rise a little bit more, that'll likely lead to the issue of a heat advisory or warning this week. Outside right now, it's cloudy. Clouds are starting to burn off. We had a few storms overnight in Dallas and Fort Worth, not in the city. But overall, it is quiet. We're at 81 and 82 at Stinson and at the airport. Mostly cloudy conditions. Current temperatures 80s and 70s across the map. 77 at Bernie, 88 in Devine, and 85 at Floresville. 70s at Rock Springs, and already near 80 to 90 in George West Beeville. But again, the feels like temperature and or the heat index is going to be the main player when it comes to the issuance of these heat advisories. So you'll see feels like temperatures, heat indices are already at 100 in Beeville, 100 at George West, 96 at Cotulla, 96 at Pearsall. So it's already elevated, and it's not even 12 o'clock. Just get ready for about 4 o'clock, and that's when things are going to get really, really hot. As a matter of fact, take a look at today's forecast. 98 for San Antonio, that's air temperature. But again, when you tag on the humidity, it'll feel more like 105 at times, 106. Mostly sunny after lunchtime as cloud cover starts to burn off. By this afternoon, upper 90s, lower 100s, especially southwest of San Antonio. Tonight, 8 p.m., still about 91. Clear skies. Tomorrow morning, another blanket of cloud cover. Not expecting any rain. And then by tomorrow afternoon, rinse and repeat as this ridge of high pressure just stays with us. It doesn't move. It kind of wobbles back and forth through tomorrow and Wednesday, but it stays in the area. Northern Mexico, south central Texas, and it amplifies likely Thursday and Friday, which is going to lead to the temperatures really rising into the 103, 104 category at times. So that's the forecast. Here it is, the 7-day. You'll see as I take this off right here, and boom. So again, air temperatures near 98 to 101 between now and Wednesday. Heat index values between 105 and 110. That's thanks to elevated moisture, elevated humidity values, and a lot of heat in the forecast. Thursday, 101, Friday, 103, and 103 on Saturday.